because we're live.
We are live.
That was
We
all
went
me.
live.
I'm so sorry we were late, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all Jordan's fault.
Jordan.
It's all Jordan's fault.
I got here like literally a minute before showtime, and I
And
was
you
ready
were
and set to
ready.
go.
Yeah.
And then, except I look like I'm on Mars.
But here's the deal, to be honest. Like, we got a lot to do, right? We're doing a lot. We're working a lot. And Jordan literally got off a meeting 3 minutes ago and then had to plug everything in. You know what I mean? So let's cut him some slack.
Sometimes, sometimes life is a little bit of a scramble.
And sometimes it's
Totally.
side up.
And other times,
With the Rich Casciano joke right there.
other
Hey,
times,
I'm here all week. Try the veal.
So good.
it's time to start the show.
Da-da-da-da-da.
There we go.
What time is it? Hey, Jordan.
Everyone?
What time is it? You sound pretty good, Jordan. How talk to us real quick. Check 1, 2, 3.
Hey
check.
now.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Oh,
There you
full
go.
radio voice.
You're a fan of Howard Stern,
Full
aren't you?
radio voice.
Baba Booey.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We're back. It's time. It's time. It's time. Taylor Primetime. Hey, it's episode 114, Mike.
We did 113 things plus this.
Yeah, or by the end of it, we're going to be doing, it's 114 things. we've done.
Yes, by the end. But I wanted to preempt my correction of you as we do every show.
I'll honor your preemptment.
Thank you.
Okay.
My preemption.
Preempted-sized me.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, Taylor Tone shows. That's what we're going to talk about. We're just going to introduce you to something really cool that we're about to do, but we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff at the same time. We might even, before 20 minutes, talk about guitars. That's really exciting.
That's a goal.
That is the goal. So I was going to say real quick, while I'm here, we're going to have a couple of segments up front, but I want to ask something real time. I want to ask ChatGPT to tell me about Taylor guitars.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Real time. So GPT.
Chad.
Chad
GPT.
Chad. He has a personality. It's
Tell me
Chad.
about Taylor guitars. This is what it has to say. Oh my goodness.
Then we could check out Biff GPT afterwards.
Okay, hold on. Then you got to write, make it a party. Okay. Here we go. Wow, this is fantastic. All right, I'm going to read just a little bit of this real quick. Okay, Chad has something to say. Welcome to the Taylor Guitars party. See? Step right up, grab a drink, and get ready to talk about rock stars of the acoustic guitar world. Taylor Guitars, whether you're strumming around the campfire, laying down tracks in the studio, or bringing the house down on stage, Taylor's got your back with six-string magic.
Wait, you prompted it to make it a party, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
You gotta say make it a party, and that's when it
party.
gets good.
Six-string magic is a good one.
Six-string magic is also a good band name. So
Yep.
that one's really excited. All right, guys, how you guys doing?
That's
Gabe,
cool.
how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm still trying to write my stuff, my questions.
You're trying to catch up, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just tried chat GPTing myself again, but using the whole party motif. I just forgot to say that I work for Taylor Guitars because the first line is, let's start with the basics. Mike Venezia could be anyone depending on context.
So
Like,
good.
okay. So, yeah, that doesn't really fly.
All right, another episode of This is Chad GPT. Welcome to the party. All right, here we go. Let's do a little segment of this or that. Before we get going, welcome everybody. You guys are regulars, I see. Most of you are regulars. If you haven't been to this show before, it's a Guitar Nerd talk show. We like to keep the nerd and guitar nerd. Don't do anything out of line, or Gabe is going to have to put you in timeout. We don't want Gabe to put you in timeout.
I will.
This is a fun party.
He'll
We're
do
going
it.
to have a good time. We're going to talk about some good stuff here. It's exciting. All right. A little what are you listening to up front? Then we'll do a little this or that and get right into the episode. Jordan. Let's go first. Let's go you first, Jordan. Look, I'm going to move you up there too. Jordan.
Oh my goodness.
What
yeah.
have you been listening to?
I've been listening to, let me take a look. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to Refused yet, but I'm excited for
A
it.
Shape of Punk to Come. That is
Yep.
the
Yeah, that's what you recommended to me.
greatest heavy record of all time, hands down, full stop. I'm sorry.
That's a good name for a record. I have not heard it, but it's a good
Oh,
name
you-
for a record.
You know what I've been listening to? It's just the album in its entirety, but Louder Than Bombs, The Smiths.
Oh, yes.
It's so good. I've been listening to that for like a few weeks now, just kind of on repeat with a few other things, but that's been a constant. I love The Smiths.
I love the Smiths. That's great. Mike, what have you been listening to, dude?
Recently I've been taking a deeper dive into children's music. And Baby Shark is just chef's kiss. I mean, that song, and then amazing. And then a new one came across
Baby
my
Shark,
transom. Exactly. And one more recently came across something called Mommy Farted. And
How does that
both
go?
of those, Mommy
Like,
Farted.
Give it
Kinda
give it a tune though. Like
I
how
heard
does
it very quick, and it was enough to set me off. I have yet to listen to the full song, but actually, that's my April Fool's joke.
Oh.
But being that I have a slight affinity for the band Rush,
Yes, we know.
this arrived, this massive,
Wow.
Whoa.
Rush 50.
massive box set arrived
How
in
much
the mail
does
the
it
other day.
weigh?
If we don't see Mike for a couple weeks, this is what he's doing.
Yeah. I put it this way. How much does it weigh? Well, it's a fight between this and my 72 Les Paul Custom. So
That's
it is
substantial.
tremendous. And the way that this thing opens is like, it can't even slide things out of it. You have to open it like this.
Wait, Mike, is that the 50th year? Like they came out in 75?
Technically 74, but
Wow.
yeah. So they're celebrating it now because why not?
I would have guessed 80s. I didn't know they were 70s. That's cool.
Well, that's because you weren't born until the 90s. So
Yeah, you
that-
weren't born until the 2000s, so.
Yeah.
Are you that
True.
much younger than me?
No. 80s. I was born in the 80s.
no, you weren't.
Were
I
you?
was. Yeah.
Like 89, though, right?
It was 89. Yeah.
Yeah, 89 and a half. You may as well be grunge.
It was June 89. It was literally 89 and a half. Yeah.
So literally, that is what I've been listening to.
That's
So,
cool.
I love it. Gabe, what have you been listening to?
Pretty wide variety of things. None of it Dave Matthews, so relax.
Lies.
It's gonna be fine.
That was an April Fool's joke too. That's a good one, Gabe. No, Dave Matthews. That's funny.
I've been a little bit on a kick of 90s alternative stuff. So I've been going through, back through a bunch of things and finding records that are 90s alternative bands like Counting Crows, August and Everything After, and just kind of like doing deep dives into things like that. Not the Japanese only release though. I bought the reissue. The scratch for that early Japanese version the import version it's a lot.
Wow. Anything else?
Those go for big dollars.
Let's do another way. Another way of saying this is.
I was listening to Live's first record and a few other good things. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's their big record, Throwing Copper.
Their big record, right?
Yeah, and just a bunch of cool stuff like that. After last show, when I was talking about garbage, I started going back and going through all my kind of favorite '90s bands and searching for vinyl for everybody. And
That's tight. Wow. Well, I've been listening to a ton.
Such as
Taylor Players, Coheed and Cambria came out with a new record. It's perfect. It's called The Father of Make Believe. I really love it. Another Taylor player, Ocean Pleasant, came out with a new single. She's great. She's got super vintage kind of vibrato vibe. It's just really interesting. Her vocal is really cool. For the heavier people out there, Deaf Heaven came out with a new record. It is awesome.
Are you talking physically heavier people or people that are into heavier music?
Heavier music people.
Because I'm both.
I'm pretty heavy too. I mean, I'm 6'5". Yeah, that's Sleigh
helps.
Bells. Sleigh Bells has new music coming out. I'm really excited about that. Did you know Derek Miller from Sleigh Bells was in Poison the Well, Mike, if you're into metal or whatever.
Or whatever.
The new Mumford and Sons is actually really fantastic. Steven Wilson. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff I've been listening to. It's great.
Hey, you know, Steven Wilson is going on tour
With
himself. He's doing a solo tour.
Is he
He's
really?
actually playing down by us. He's playing the Magnolia
Is he really? When?
in September.
We should go to that.
We should.
September like 20th, right?
I think it's. I want to say it's the 11th, which is why I remember it. But
Is this
But yeah,
Steven
for the-
Wilson Jr.?
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah, Steven Wilson Jr. I'm talking about the like indie country dude.
Oh no, I'm not talking about him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well,
Sorry.
Steven Wilson Jr. is coming to San Diego as well sometime in September. This is weird. There's going to be a
That's
fight
weird.
of the Steven Wilsons.
I'm talking about the guy from Porcupine Tree,
Oh, yeah. No, not that Steven Wilson.
who has the
different
best
Steven.
pair of ears in the production world these days. It seems.
Yeah. Nope, not that. All right, this or that. Let's play a little quick game of
Oof,
this or that. You
brutal.
guys ready? So here's how we're doing this or that. Each of us have a this or that for the other guys in the room. We get
Okay.
three this or that's. One has to be guitar related, one has to be music related, and one has to be sports related. Does that make sense? How do you guys want to do it? Do we want to go around in a circle for our first one and then go around in a circle, or do you want each of us, like me, to do all three? What do you guys want to do? How you
I
want
don't
to do
know. I want to make mine oddly specific to Jay, but
this? Okay, you can.
No, no,
we
I
can
won't.
do that
I won't.
too.
We just go round robin. I think
Yeah,
round
let's
robin.
do round robin. Let's do it.
Round robin, all three.
All three.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Who
three?
who
Wow.
wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll kick.
All right,
this off.
Mike, you go first. Kick it off.
All right. First question: this or that? This one's sort of an easy one for me, but Rush or Dream Theater?
Oh. Me? I'll go.
Whoever wants
Yeah.
to go first.
Rush.
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 Thank you. Les Paul or Stratocaster?
Les Paul.
I've never played either. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But you got to
Never-
pick one.
Oh,
Pick one. Now you pick one on looks.
For looks. Les Paul. Is that what did Marty McFly play at the end of Back to the Future?
335.
335.
Is that Gibson?
It's still
Yeah.
a Gibson.
Okay, I'll do Les Paul.
Okay.
Ooh, that's so. I'm gonna go Strat.
You
Wow.
would. You're wearing a Guardians
Yeah.
hat. That's fine.
And what does Dave Matthews play? I mean, you know, when he plays electric. He probably plays a
Jerry
Strat.
Jones baritones, occasionally a Strat.
There you go. See, that's it. That's it. We're done. That's it. Strat. So,
Okay.
Dave
He also
Matthews
Gabe.
equals
He also
Strat.
plays that headstockless guitar. Have you seen him play that one? Like he doesn't have a headstock at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, he
I'll send
plays
you-
a
I'll send you picture.
355. That's right. Right? In
What?
Back to the Future?
It's a 355, but it's
Yeah,
a
it's
335.
You're totally right.
Style body, but it's a 355.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
I just
right.
yeah. I like
Totally.
the Gibson look.
Now, this is not my third question, but I have to ask it, knowing this group.
Okay.
Best Dave Matthews song, Crash or What Would You Say?
Ooh.
Oh,
Which one's Crash?
it's between the two, right?
Which
This or
one's
that?
Crash? Sing it.
Just between those two. Crash into me. There you go.
Oh.
That's
I'm going Crash.
Yeah, I'll go. I think I'm
And
gonna go Crash between
Is
the
the
two.
other one like, wow, what do
Yeah,
you
that
care?"
Yes. The other one is
Yeah.
the car horns. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to do that one because it's hilarious.
Yeah. He sounds like a car horn. All right. Last one. I wanted to pick the sports. I got the sports one. So my last question, I wanted to do it individually for everyone, but I don't have that kind of time to do it right now. So I'm just going to say Guardians or Astros.
Oh, I like this question. Guardians.
Because it's really tough for me to answer it. So
Not at all. Astros.
Yeah, I would say Astros too.
it's either
Yep.
cheaters or rivals.
Yeah, no. I look, trash cans. Like, it was ingenious. So what? Who cares? Let's move on. They won. I almost said they won a Super Bowl since then.
They
so-
won a Super Bowl. They
so
definitely
there you
did.
go. All right,
Way
whose
to
turn
go.
is next? My turn? Or
They scored a 3-pointer
Doesn't matter.
in the Super Bowl.
let's go Jordan. Jordan, this is great. Come on.
Do it, Jordan.
Okay.
Pick it up. Let's do this.
So
Guitars.
let's. Oh, guitars.
No, I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want.
Can I do guitars?
You do
Yeah.
it. Sure.
Do whatever.
Guitars,
I wanna-
music,
I'll-
sports.
I want to stay in house here.
Do it.
314 CE or 814 CE?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna
We're
go
talking standard. They're workhorses in
814
their own
CE.
right. Cool.
Yeah, same 814C. I'm a Rosewood guy.
Jay.
I would go 314 CE.
Yeah,
I like
I
the
knew
little
Jay would say that.
drier,
Yeah,
drier
yeah.
sound. Yep.
In general, I do too, but I'm a big 814.
Yeah, 814 is a
fan.
good guitar for sure.
Okay. Can I
It's
ask
hard.
my sports question?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is internalizing. Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers?
Oh God.
Mason Rudolph. I'm shooting that one to the rooftops as a Jets fan. Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph.
I'm
my
gonna go
favorite.
Mason Rudolph also.
Yeah, totally.
Almost anyone but Aaron Rodgers, actually.
To heck with Aaron Rodgers at this point. Why anybody would want that guy on his team at this
Yep.
point?
I just can't.
Not because of his ability or lack thereof, but because of everything else.
Everything else. He's just the worst personality.
All right. Well, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
I like it.
What, to be different?
100% Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Why? Because it
I
keeps
like
things,
it.
Yeah,
keeps
can I ask-
people in the paper?
No, I like the chaos. I think
That's what I'm saying.
I think he's misunderstood, and I love the chaos. I think
He's
it's great.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yes, poor
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's the reason he's misunderstood.
yeah,
Exactly. That's awesome.
All
Aaron
right.
Rodgers.
circular
All right.
argument.
This question is kind of for Gabe and ironically for Jay, but I would like Mike's opinion too.
7.
Which album between Crash or Before These Crowded Streets?
Before these crowded streets.
What are these albums?
You know what they are.
It's like
Oh, DMB?
Oh yeah.
Oh, show me the artwork. Which one's Crash?
Gabe's got 'em.
That
this
one's
one is
Crash.
Crash.
That one's
This is
Crash,
Before
yeah.
these crowded streets.
And Before These Crowded Streets has a great. That's like a live album too, right?
If
I would
I'm
go
gonna vote
Crash.
for
I
Jay-
like the
yeah.
artwork
This
better.
is the live at
There you
Luther
go.
College. Limited
Nice.
edition,
Okay. Yeah, there's a
I was
live
going
album.
to say, I figured Jay would pick Crash because it's at least, like Texas Rangers colors, so it's like
the
baseball-ish,
artwork. I like the artwork better. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, wait, Gabe. Follow up question though.
Wait.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
Mike
Oh,
didn't
sure.
go? Did Mike
Oh,
go?
Mike didn't go.
Mike,
Oh,
go ahead.
between those two?
Between those two,
Between those two, I pick this.
Rush.
Nice.
That's what I pick. Between those two
Okay.
albums, I'll pick something else. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Mike
right,
doesn't.
cool.
Mike doesn't know how the game works. Surprisingly.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
know how the game works, and I'm ignoring the game because I hate Dave Matthews Band.
Gabe, what?
Hate is not.
follow-
We don't go there.
Hate is a bad word. Hug your haters. I'm going to hug myself. I don't hate the Dave Matthews Band. I don't.
Exactly.
I just don't
They are
listen
great.
to the Dave
I
Matthews
agree
Band.
with
I
They
saw
are
that.
fantastic
I saw that.
musicians whose music that they create is not my taste.
Crash test.
Gabe,
Crash test.
Gabe,
Crash
I
test
could,
dummies,
I could
so-
ask you this follow up, Gabe,
Okay.
offline, but I would
Yeah.
like to just waste this time
Just
here.
put me on the spot.
Yeah. What is your favorite song of Dave Matthews
Ooh, like ever?
ever?
Ooh.
I have mine, but I want to hear yours.
Wow. If it took that long, you
Yeah,
just,
it would take a
you're not
while.
fan.
I don't have an actual favorite. I'm gonna go One Sweet World
Really?
off the top of my head,
Oh, okay.
but I don't
One-
have a favorite.
I had tons of favorites.
I have
until-
so many. It's a
yeah,
lot.
I had tons of favorites until Penny was born, and then Samurai Cop. I think that's just been up there this whole time now.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I mean, musically, I like the movement in One Sweet World.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a
Okay.
a lot
Alright.
of movement in there.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt.
All right, your sports question is up.
Hey,
Yeah.
Matt.
Oh, he did a sports special.
Oh, he did a sports question. All right,
Yeah, Aaron
Jay, you should
Rodgers.
close out because you said yours was so good.
Huh? My.
You-
You,
you should-
go.
Yeah. Guitar. P90s or humbuckers?
Oh, that is the worst question. I'm just generalizing right now. I would probably. Oh, like Gabe.
If your Les Paul would have been P90s, you would have had me, but I just assume
right
humbuckers
now, I'm
when
going
you
to
say
say.
that.
Right now, generalizing, I'm going to say over like as a utility humbuckers. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know either of these. Jay, what does
You say P90s, and then we can switch.
Yeah,
What the-
you can go there.
Because
It's okay.
I can't
Okay,
decide
okay.
between those two actually, but for
It's,
general,
it's hard.
yeah, for general right now, I would say I would lean humbucker,
what does Atkins play for Jimmy Eat World?
humbuckers.
Okay, humbuckers. I'm gonna go with that. I love that sound, that punk, that like early aughts punk sound.
Yeah, he also plays tellies a lot that don't have humbuckers, but he does have like a couple of deluxes, but mainly humbuckers. And
Okay.
early Jimmy Eat World, he was playing a Les Paul
Oh, okay.
Junior.
Yeah.
Yep.
Humbuckers I'm going with then.
This is such a guitar nerd talk show already. Mike,
Yeah.
P90s or humbuckers?
That's a tough one, but humbuckers edges it out.
Yeah, slightly. There's
I'm
like a
all in
use
on
case
P90s.
for P90s.
all
P90s
in
are
on P90s.
fantastic.
P90s are
I mean, they just give such a fat sound, but humbuckers just has a little bit extra that I need sometimes. So.
My
Yeah.
my favorite P90s are on Reverends because they have that treble roll
See?
off or that bass contour knob
Okay,
where you can
you
roll
didn't
off
say
low end.
on Reverend. Okay, go. Next question.
Next question: music, 90s alternative or 80s hair metal?
80s
Inspired
hair
by
metal.
my music
80s
listening.
hair
lately.
metal.
90s
hair
alt.
metal. There's nothing
90
wrong with 90s alt, but 80s hair
90s
metal.
alt or Nikki Six. Just Nikki Six though.
Just
Also, yeah, I would say alt. Yep. Okay. Sports.
sports are based on the two teams I hated most growing up in football:
Awesome.
Broncos or Cowboys.
Oh,
Broncos.
All
Broncos.
day.
Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
That's kind of a
I
no-brainer.
feel like
It's
Stephen A.
tough because
I feel like
for you.
yeah, because John Elway like ruined my childhood.
Stephen A. I live to see Cowboys fans miserable.
Yeah.
When Stephen A. goes on
kinda
his
do too.
rant about Cowboys fans, I love it.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
So mine's slightly different. You guys got to role play just a little bit. I need you
Okay.
to imagine that you're in the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay? You're in the Rolling Stones.
Can do.
All right. Guitar. Jackson Dinky or Charvel Sandemus?
Well, when I play honky tonk women, I prefer it on a Sandemus, a Charvel Sandemus, personally, because the dinky, while it gives a little oomph to songs like that, I prefer that guitar for maybe Sympathy for the Devil.
Right, because you would want your Floyd Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little more trebly for the end solo.
Yeah, and you definitely need a pointy headstock for that.
Oh yeah, well, it's
has
the
more of a
devil.
strat.
The devil is more pointy ears, so you need the pointy headstock, whereas the Charvel headstock is more rounded. So therefore,
All right.
yeah. So
Okay.
Charvel Sandemus. In
Gabe?
fact, I have one back here.
Such a good guitar.
I'm gonna go Charvel also.
Yeah.
Yeah, if for no other reason than the inlays on the Jackson Dinky would just confuse me while I was trying to play. Like
Because
it's
they're
a lot.
giant. Yeah. Okay.
They're
Yeah,
shark
just
fins.
The shark
Yeah,
fins
shark
thing.
fins.
It's just like, but where am I?
Okay. Non-electric guitar player up there in the corner, Jordan.
What were the options again?
A Jackson Dinky.
Jackson
preferably,
Dinky.
preferably fluorescent pink, or a Charvel Sandemus.
They both played shortstop for the Florida Marlins in the late '90s.
My true answer is absolutely neither one of those things because of Floyd Rose Floyd Rose tremolos.
I
They're the
know,
worst.
but
The
that's why I
worst.
needed you to imagine as if you're like, I'm in the Rolling Stones, and now I got to pick two guitars.
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Sandemus would feel kind of very Strat-like.
And Sandemus is like 2 hours from here.
Yeah, and Sandemus
But they
is
both
2
have
hours for here. But the answer is Jackson Dinky. To be
Okay,
honest.
Jackson Dinky.
Awesome.
There we
Good
go.
job.
Okay.
All right, now you're in the Rolling Stones, and you're doing a pop singer. Where you're doing a feature with a pop singer.
Okay.
Sabrina Carpenter or Olivia Rodrigo. Oh, remember they had a little boyfriend beef for a second, so you gotta remember that. Sabrina Carpenter, who cleaned up at the Grammys this year, or Olivia Rodrigo.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, because this is one I understand and I can talk to. Okay. All right. If I'm playing Gimme Shelter, I want Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
If I'm singing more of a oh man, like if I'm doing a duet about like if I'm doing like a duet version of Wild Horses, I'd want Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, that's great.
Or like a gentler voice where she has that falsetto high pitch range. But if it's saying rock, like Olivia Rodrigo just rocks out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she rocks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gabe.
I like Jordan's analysis, and based on it, I'm going to pick Olivia Rodrigo so she can sing Love and Cup.
Oh,
Ooh,
see,
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are getting where I was going with this. Okay, Mike.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah,
Pretty cut and dried for me.
yeah. She kind of rocks just a little bit harder, so she might fit with the Stones a little bit. But
Little bit.
I hear you on Sabrina Carpenter up there, Jordan.
Yeah, she'd do like Ruby Tuesday really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're in the Rolling Stones, and you have to pick a sport. All right, and that sport is English Premier League or Formula One.
English Premier League.
Oh, I'm a soccer player. I'm going to go Premier League.
Yeah,
Or
same.
I was
mean,
when I was young and in shape.
If you're any Brit rock band from the '60s, you it's soccer, football.
It's
Sorry.
football.
Yeah, it's
Football.
Yes, football.
Although Formula One was pretty popular around that
Yeah.
period too.
Yeah, it really was, and those were when the cars were incredible.
And that was like the Niki Lauda era.
I'm a country guy, Phil. I'm a country guy. I wish I knew 90% of these. It's all good. Next week we're gonna do this with country bands, so I'm excited about that. All right,
means
we're
I'll
done with
have
this
to
or that.
abstain.
Let's move
There
on
we
to
go.
the show.
Yeah.
move
Let's
into
do
the-
this. My goodness, today's show is brought to us by the Legacy 514 CE. I'm really excited about that. In fact, I'm so excited that I got a clip. Again, today's show of Taylor Primetime, episode 114, is brought to you by the Legacy 514 CE. Check this out. The guitar's so
Man,
good.
I've had 4 of those, or we've had 4 of those come through here, and every
Yeah.
single one of them sound like that. It sounds like you're listening to a recording.
So interestingly, so first, I think we can all agree we're really happy that we did those Legacy guitars. I think
Yeah.
that 514 CE is such a remarkable guitar. Historically, that guitar has been not that particular guitar Andy was playing, but many guitars like it. 514 CEs have been on a ton of recordings, and
Oh, yeah.
not sure if you guys know this story, but long time ago, we did a little video piece with a producer by the name of Rob Cavallo. If you guys are familiar, Rob is, look him up, Google that name, Rob Cavallo.
He's done a thing or two.
Cavallo. He has done a thing or two, but we have a nice 2-minute-ish video that talks about that guitar. So check it out. We'll be right back.
This guitar actually, came to me early on, and Billy Joe actually at one point dubbed it Excalibur, and it wasn't because of anything the first time he used it, because the first time he did really use it was on Time of Your Life. So this is actually the Time of Your Life guitar. Let's see if it sounds like it. I don't know. I can't play it good. Little out of tune, but you get it. Anyways, it is the guitar. And then very shortly after, we used it on Alanis Morissette's Uninvited, so it's the guitar that's doing this. And then it's also on a Goo Goo Dolls song called Iris, and it's kind of just doing the basic. Let's see. And so it's doing that kind of stuff. And then Eric Clapton actually borrowed it. We did a song called Blue Eyes Blue, which was a hit, and he played an amazing lead guitar, and it's amazing to hear that what he plays on this. He's all over the neck, and he's just masterful. It's unbelievable. And he liked the guitar so much that he actually borrowed it from me for about 6 months. He says, I'm going to go score a movie with this. And after like 9 months, I thought, oh my God, I'm never going to get this guitar back. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, he just called. He says, mate, I'm ready. I think I'm done with that guitar. So I was like, great, I'll come get it. And then since then, it's been on a lot of things. I mean, it's been on a lot of songs. I mean, it's been on, and that's when Billy Joe dubbed it Excalibur, because I think this actual guitar has been on something like in the order of like 10 #1 records in different. It's actually, you know, there's a song by Shinedown called Second Chance, and it's the guitar, you hear those chords ringing right in the beginning. It's you know, it's been used over and over again. It just has this beautiful, amazingly expressive tone. So I'm real happy I have it. And it's the first one I got from Jay.
I love that guitar. Gabe, you've got one, don't you?
Yeah, I'm sitting here needling on it while we have it. Yeah, I have mine's an 05, which is my very first Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's super good guitar.
It is a super good guitar. That was one of the ones that one of the Legacy Collections guitars that I was really excited about because of that. I mean, it is an Excalibur. That is the Excalibur. That guitar has made a lot of hits. In fact, before we get into that, here's the other one that I was really excited about, and that was, of course, the Legacy 810. I was so excited about that. So give me about 40 seconds, and then we'll come talk about the Legacy Collection. Legacy Collection. Mike, go.
It's a collection.
Of Legacy.
Actually, we can't just talk about the Legacy Collection, right? So, Taylor Guitars, we're hitting the road this year. And as salespeople, we're going to be hitting some stores and doing something called the Taylor Tone Show. Now, part of what that is how we discuss things at Taylor Guitars now in terms of our collections of guitars. And why? Because there's a wide swath of tone that we offer in our line. And breaking it down into collections is going to make it easier for you if you're looking for your next Taylor guitar to kind of help you start on that pathway, right? Because it could be kind of daunting, like, you know, well, I don't necessarily know what I want in my next guitar or my first guitar or what have you. And this will kind of help you on the path a bit. So we're going to touch on that a little bit here today. That's what this episode's about is Bone Tone and the Tone Collections. So let's start with the Legacy Collection. The Legacy Collection is obviously paying homage to guitars from our history that, you know, at the end, nearing the end of our 50th anniversary, which was last year, Bob Taylor kind of wanted to revisit. And the cool thing about the Legacy Collection guitars is that we're making them very much like their earlier incarnations, except we're able to use modern technology that we've honed throughout the years. So when you think about it this way, you're going to get an 810E that has a full Taylor neck on it, a fully removable neck. Our necks are always been removable, but the older school Taylor guitars, the fingerboard extension was glued onto the top of the guitar. So you could do a neck reset, but it would still take some time, a little bit more effort. These guitars have the full Taylor neck. So now you're getting that. Plus, you're getting other things in it like LR Baggs pickups. They're using the LR Baggs Element VTC pickup because, you know, back then in the late 70s when we started, you know, making a lot of these guitars, we really didn't have pickups, but people like pickups in their guitars. So we decided to go with something as opposed to our ES2, which is more modern, we went with something that was a little bit more fitting of a traditional build. And also, every guitar in the Legacy collection has X-Brace. So it's bringing back that tone, that familiar traditional tone that Taylor was known for at the beginning of our career, I guess, as a company. I don't know what you call the beginning. I don't know if you want to call it a career, but our existence. There we go.
The
That'd be a better word.
beginning of our career. I like that one. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, well, we've all made careers out of it. We're all here, right? So for us, it's a career. For Taylor, it's a lifestyle. And so that's what the Legacy collection of guitars is going to provide for you. It's going to provide more of that traditional build, traditional pairings. They're mainly rosewood guitars, but they come in some of our original shapes. I say mainly rosewood because we have the 810E, and then which is obviously a dreadnought, and we have an 815E and 855E, which are jumbos. Those are the first two shapes we started with as Taylor guitars. The 815 is a jumbo 6-string, the 855 being the 12-string version, and all of those have electronics. Then we have the 514 CE, which we just have been talking about, which
Right.
this episode is brought to you by the Legacy 514 CE.
This
which
episode is brought to you by the Legacy 514 CE.
Exactly. So, so what that guitar is, that's going to be a cedar mahogany guitar in a grand auditorium shape, which we started in 1994. And then also the 714 CE, which is, again, a rosewood guitar, but also with the cedar top, much like the 514 CE. So you have an array of different tone within that collection in and of itself, which is pretty cool. And that was a great way to kind of start talking about our collections.
I love it. Let's dive into Legacy just for a second. Gabe, you are an absolute Taylor nerd.
Big Taylor nerd for sure.
You are a big Taylor nerd. Of the Legacy collection of guitars, if you were to pick two, just two, to walk home with, what two would they be?
Ooh,
And why?
I think the 810, because it's always, it's such a staple in Taylor history. It's a really specific kind of throaty dreadnought sound, and really just kind of tied into the Bob Taylor of it all. It was like the flagship guitar and the first Taylor and all that. So I think that one. I already have a 514 CE and a 714 CE, so I think the 855.
Oh, yeah.
Just the cool mustache bridge,
yeah.
the
Big
jumbo
12
12 string. It's just vibey and cool. And the whole Neil Young, Neil Young's guitar has the mustache bridge, which is dope. And I don't know, it's just a neat thing out of Taylor's history. So
I love it. All right, Jordan, you're a Taylor nerd. You're a nerd. You're a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Definitely a
if
nerd.
you didn't own any of those, I would tell you to maybe pick one of the cedar tops as your pick, because they're special and they're really great to play.
Okay, that's good value.
Cedar's an interesting top wood. It's really responsive, and there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, Jordan, you've been around them,
Yep.
but you don't own any. If you were to walk home with one at a store,
Yeah.
you only get one to choose. He got two.
Yep.
You get
It-
one. Of the Legacy
I only get
guitars,
one.
what would you pick?
Probably the 514, the cedar top one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well chosen.
It's yeah. Like I said, I've played 3 or 4, and they all sounded like that recording. Like they sounded. I can't play as well as Andy, so it didn't sound like that. But they all sounded like you're playing a recording, just in the room. Like they're so straightforward. I'm a piano player first, so I kind of like the fundamental sound of mahogany.
Yeah.
And the cedar warms it up just enough to the point where it sounds like you're listening to a nice warm recording. But I will say, Jay, you know this, you've seen my 717. I bought that 717 because I loved it, but also I wanted a Taylor Dreadnought. And at the time when I was shopping, that wasn't available. So it's cool that we have
The
a square
A10.
shoulder Dreadnought back in our lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Mike, all right, Mike, you've been around Taylor for the longest in this group. Well, Gabe, in a weird way, but you have been here way longer than me, longer than Jordan. You get to pick 3. What are the 3 Legacy collection guitars you would grab?
All right, so there's a lot of qualifiers that kind of go into this for me, but I'll be quick about it.
Star Trek.
I'm not, yes, and Star Wars equally for different reasons, which is why I can't play this or that. So I'm not a Dreadnought guy, but I love our A10E.
Oh yeah.
I love that. It's of the traditional sounds. It definitely is the more of the Taylor type sound that I was introduced to when I first discovered Taylor guitars. But for me, back in 2001, so it's more of a callback to that in my mind, and I think that guitar actually absolutely sounds amazing. The 855E. Find me a 12 string that does what that thing does.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. None. I'll put that
it's too
12
good.
string up against any other 12 string
other
any
12
day of the
string.
week.
Yeah.
And then, between the 514 CE and 714 CE, it's really, really tough because I am more of a Rosewood guy than I am anything else.
Yeah.
But that 514 CE, the Legacy 514 CE, just records so ridiculously well and so balanced and so even that as somebody who records material, that is priceless. So those would be the three that I would go with.
Those are great choices.
What would you pick, Jay?
How many do I get to pick?
5.
Well then, here's
Why
what
did I
would
only
pick.
get one choice?
Yeah, let's
You're the newest.
You're the newest, and I'm a Red Wings fan. Therefore,
Yeah.
And the
just
host.
get
Jay, you get
5.
2.
Jay,
Two.
you get
I like
all
2.
5.
Yeah, no, I would take all 5 in a second. I think a 514 CE, and which is funny, Mike, because I'm not a cutaway guy, but the 514 CE is special, and I would agree with everything Rob said. I haven't heard Gabe's in person, but he hey Jordan, he blushes about that guitar all the time.
All the time.
It's a special
It is
guitar.
a special guitar. So 514 for sure, and then believe it or not, it's really hard between an 810 and an 855. But the 855, I would agree with your statement, Mike. Find me a 12 string that can do what an 855 can do.
Yep.
So that's if I were to pick 2, I think I would have like this tonal spectrum that was just bonkers.
Do you all
All right.
do you all own 12 strings?
I don't right now.
I don't. Nope.
I don't at the moment.
I
I've
had a
them.
455 for a long time, and
Okay.
I offloaded it. I was going to get one of the smaller ones, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on one yet.
I have no patience for 12 strings.
I love 12 strings.
Why? Because of what they
tuning.
say, the tuning. So you're like
The tuning, yeah.
half.
My-
And then when I
what's the
finally
joke?
get it,
What's the joke? You
into-
spend half the time tuning
Half your
it
time
and-
tuning it, half your time playing it out of tune.
that's what it feels like.
Except that's not my experience with Taylor 12 strings.
Yeah,
they
they
hold,
just
it's
tune
not.
and they
Yeah.
tune
They
and
do-
tune
Yeah, no,
it.
they hold
they
tune
hold
really
their.
well.
I played that Dulce Doble, and that sounded so good and even and tuned. But if it goes out of tune, I don't want to tune it back up.
So
No, it's
here's
not.
my thing. I'm not good enough to play 6 strings. So like I try and get around 4.
Yeah.
And so adding,
8.
8 strings to 4 strings is tough for
Yeah,
me.
I get
so
it.
I'm gonna stick with 6 strings, but if I had an 855, I would let people play it and I would record it and it would be really fun to do.
Indeed.
Yep.
So, okay, there's that. So next we're going to follow the line just a little bit. And Mike, if you could set us up and let's just talk about okay. So now we have Legacy. Let's talk about the standard Taylor line. Talk to me about that.
So the standard line is, and I like to call it the standard collection because it really is
Standard
a collection.
collection,
It is a larger collection of guitars. It's not quite a catch-all, but it is most everything. Our most popular guitars are in the standard collection, if you will. And that's everything that showcases everything we've done since basically 1999, right? So it includes our 100s, our 200s, our GS Minis. It includes, all the numbered series that don't have a qualifier before it, like Legacy, Gold Label, or Builder's Edition, right? So what is that going to give you? It's going to give you a V-Class experience or version thereof. It's going to give you ES2 electronics for the most part, depending on the model. If it's a Tecate model, it could have ESB. If it's nylon string, ESN. But it's going to have our proprietary pickups. It's going to have Taylor necks. They are going to have Taylor necks. They are going to have a wide range of tone because of the different tone woods in each series as well. So if you're looking for a variety of tone to choose from, that would be probably where you want to look at first is our standard collection of guitars, because you have everything from urban ash, going with the whole urban wood thing. So urban ash or urban ironbark, to rosewood, to maple, to all the greatest hits of tonewood. Sapele, that we've been using extensively for over 2 decades, which is on our 300 series. So there's lots of different tone woods to choose from within there, with different tops that you can choose from as well. And in certain instances, you could do top swaps. But those are going to be the staple guitars. That's where your 814 CE lives. That's where your 314 CE lives. That's where your 414 CE lives. And those 3 models I just mentioned are 3 of our most popular models
So good.
every year.
Every year.
Without fail.
For good
So-
reason too.
For
Yeah.
good reason.
100%. So that's what the standard collection of guitars is. It's, again, going to give you all the greatest hits of everything that you've known Taylor guitars to be, from our architecture to our innovations to the most playable necks in the universe, all of that. So, and again, providing you with different tone along the way.
And arguably, if you remember, or I should say, if you remember, when Cooper and Chris
Cooper
McKee
Greenberg.
stopped by, we asked a similar question: what is one Taylor guitar that you think every player should walk out with? And Cooper said, arguably, the 314 CE. I think it is just a killer guitar. It's fantastic, but man, oh man, you really can't go wrong with 814 CE. In fact, I got 40 seconds of a clip so that we can listen to an 814 CE, and you can see why. We'll be right back. It's so good. It's so good.
That was one of the prettiest necks I've ever seen in my life.
That
Yeah.
fretboard,
Oh, the fingerboard?
holy
Yeah.
fretboard!
Fingerboard was
Fretboard, sorry,
yikes,
yeah.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
it's just
stripey
bonkers.
as all get out.
Hey, look, Rob Seymour has a 319 CE.
What?
That's what he says in the comments. But I have the 319 CE.
Smile. Look at him.
Hey,
Smile.
hey Jay, have you seen Gabe get stumped by a question Taylor related
Stump
before?
the Gabe.
Very, very rarely. I think
you-
I've
can
told
you
you
do
guys
that?
before. I play a game called Who Knows More with Bob Taylor and Gabe, and there have been times where I'll ask Bob, and he will actually say, "Ask Gabe." He'll be like 510 CE, I think. Ask Gabe.
Well, there was one recently, Jay. There was an artist one.
Yeah.
You just texted me the other day an artist one.
Yeah.
Jay, can you put up the graphic and that standard line graphic? I want to see if Gabe can name them.
Okay, name them. Here we go.
Oh,
Standard line graphic, Gabe, go.
we have 814 CE, 314 CE, 414 CE, I believe. Although the
Yep.
yeah.
Is that
Gabe,
a
are you,
414?
Gabe, is that your final answer on the right?
Is that a
Oh
414?
no, that's a
CE?
420. That's a 412 CE. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dang, you're good, man. That's right.
The angle of the guitar had me off, but then I looked at the waist.
Yeah.
Good for
See,
you.
Gabe's good at this game.
Gabe's the best.
Gabe's really good at this
I
game.
do okay.
So we talked standard line. Let's go right into Builder's Edition, Mike.
Wait, if you could pick any one guitar out of the standard line,
you
what would
want to play
pick?
that game real quick?
I like that game.
Okay. So any guitar from the standard line?
Yeah.
or from those three? Let's do those three. Yeah, because the standard line, there's like, how many guitars are there?
I know, that's what's interesting. There's a lot of guitars
like
in there.
85 or
All
something.
right,
I know.
all right,
We're gonna
okay.
get some variety here.
All right, here we go. Let's play this game. I'm down. I don't know what's on the price list all the time, though, so I might say something that's not a price list. But
I'll tell you if you're wrong.
Okay. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, 322E, 12 fret.
It's on the
Yeah.
price list.
It's on the price list.
That's
There
a
I
cool
go.
guitar.
That's a
a great one.
great guitar.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
that
fun.
guitar's
And what a
fun.
variety. 12 fret,
Yeah,
hardwood top.
yeah.
Like that's not a that's not a boring take on a guitar. That's not like a lot of other things. That's a really
Yeah, I love that
interesting guitar. What about Jordan?
Okay, in the standard line right now, because we're just doing standard, not builders or anything else, 217E Black Plus.
That's a cool
Yeah,
guitar.
That guitar's awesome.
It's a super cool guitar.
Yeah.
That guitar's so great.
217
And I want something with an arrow case already. I don't have an arrow case yet, and I want it.
I have one and they're delightful.
Yeah.
They're delightful.
What about you, Mike?
I hate to be the basic guy here, but the
Nothing wrong with
814 CE is.
I mean, you can't
is
go
just-
wrong, Mike. Don't worry.
It's tried and true. So I
there's
mean, it's
no
very
wrong
hard
answer.
for me to go off that. I mean, the 814 CE is just everything I ever need in a guitar.
There's absolutely no wrong answer if you say 814 CE. Period. That's just a brilliant, brilliant guitar. Gabe, what about you?
I think for me, based on the Taylors that I have,
Why do
720
you do that's such a weird flex all the time. It's
724 CE because it's
All
not
of
like
these guitars I have. that's like the musician
that's
equivalent of
not
name
all
dropping.
That's
Like
not
that's
all of it's not all of the guitars I have. They're guitars over here.
exactly. See, you're taking it to the next level.
I would do 724 CE because it's not like anything else that I have.
Yeah,
And-
but 724 CE with matte finish or 724 CE with all gloss.
I haven't played the gloss one, so that's very hard to say.
Okay.
I really liked the matte one.
Yeah, the matte
That ones
one's
are cool.
so dope.
I like the gloss one.
The gloss one looks really cool.
It
makes
really
makes the
pops.
Koa pop. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think I mean, I like to, if I could have walked out of Rudy's with the one that I played, I would have.
All right. Let's move along. Builder's Edition collection. Let's do this, Mike. I'm going to pull this
Okay.
graphic up while you start talking.
Pull it.
All right, pull the
Yeah.
graphic.
Pull that
So,
graphic, Jay.
The Builder's Edition collection of guitars is jokingly referred to as the director's cut of guitars at Taylor Guitars because literally these are the appointments that Andy Powers likes on a guitar when he plays guitar himself.
That's
So, what does that mean? Well, that means that it has all the player comforts to enhance your experience when playing the guitar. And therefore, just like with anything else, if something is easier to use, you use it better. If a guitar is easier to play, you're going to play it better. And therefore, you're going to make it sound better. So these guitars have like an intrinsically amplified quality for those that enjoy those player comforts on their guitars.
yeah.
Because they feel that they can make the guitar sound better because of these extra appointments. And some of those appointments are a contour heel and contour cutaway. We just call it the bevel cutaway as all one thing. We have the bevel armrest, which is on the lower bout of the guitar, on the upper portion of it, which is an angle that allows you to drape over the top of the guitar as opposed to developing that kind of crease line right here from the edge of standard uncut guitars in that aspect. And things like you might not think about, like chamfered edges all around, the rounded edges on the entire guitar, all the way up the fingerboard, and the curve wing bridge, making it a little bit more comfortable when you're laying your hand on the top of the guitar on the bridge, if that's where you anchor. And almost all of them have, all of them have Goto tuners. So you get that extra elevated, higher mass, higher ratio tuner that goes along with it for better higher ratio tuners.
So great.
21 to 1. Oh yeah.
But you know what happens when we play this song, too.
I do, so you got to keep a lookout. Okay.
I'm going to watch the comments.
Here we go. Jay should be playing Walking the Ducks. There we go. Oh yeah.
It's so good.
So, yeah, It's really the director's cut. It comes in several different flavors. We have lots of different guitars under this umbrella now. We started this back in 2018 with one. It was just the Builder's Edition K14 CE, and we used that guitar to basically roll out V-class bracing.
Yeah.
So that was the first guitar to feature V-class bracing and all of these other appointments. So really, I mean, it's a mainstay of the Taylor collections now. There is lots of different tone within that. Of course, we have them in 500 series, 600 series, 800 series. Stop it right now.
It's so good though.
It's not though. Not when I'm talking like this. No. 900 series, K series. So we have Builder's Edition guitars in several different collections now with different appointments and things that you're not going to find on any of the standard or actually in most of the other lines. Not all of them, but most of them. And some of these can't even be gotten through custom. So
you know what's funny? I just realized this. Jordan, look.
Don't. I know.
I saw it too, and I'm not going to say anything.
Too.
Yep. Hey, Gabe, name the 3 guitars that are on that graphic.
Yeah, Gabe, name the 3 guitars, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
one of them is not a Builder's Edition.
It is not.
Yeah, the one on the right there is not a Builder's Edition.
Can you name it though?
Oh, that is. I'm trying to. Well, it's a 6. Is it a 614 CE?
You got it.
Yep.
Yeah, 614.
And then we have a Builder's Edition 814 CE blacktop and a Builder's Edition K14 CE.
You got it.
You got it.
Good job.
All right.
That was right to left in that case.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I got a clip of our boy Nathaniel Murphy playing for about 40 seconds if you want to hear it on it.
Oh, Builder's great. Oh, yes.
Builder's Edition 614 CE.
Everybody's about.
He would
Okay,
say
so good.
Premier League over F1.
Yeah, he probably would. Now, I was saying before the video started that everybody's about to quit playing guitar.
I remember
he's
that.
so good.
I remember
He's
that day
so good.
very well.
What were you going to say?
No, what I was saying was
I just wanted to do it
you are
again.
such. I knew something was up.
April
I knew it.
Fools. Oh,
Why
boy.
don't you go walk the ducks?
Don't make me do it again.
Don't
All
make him
right,
do it.
and now, last but not least, Mike, talk to us about our brand new collection. We had a whole episode about these
We did.
guitars.
Yep.
And we got questions earlier in the comments if we're going to talk about
And we
the
are.
gold label guitars. Mike, hit us up.
So again, we talk about Taylors in terms of collections now, and this is one of the main reasons why. It's because we added a whole section of tone to Taylor guitars, and we did that with the gold label collection. So what do I mean by that? Well, the gold label collection, I like to say that if Taylor built guitars in the 30s and 40s, this would be them. Okay? Has more of a traditional sound. Really nice low mid, really nice low end. The high end is articulate like most Taylors, but it has a warmth to it where it's not bitey. They're just beautiful sounding guitars that are on a different level than everything else that we make. They also look different than everything else that we make. So there's a little bit of, or a whole lot, I should say, of throwback in the way that these guitars look in a lot of ways. There's a lot of throwback in the way these guitars sound in a lot of ways, but they still sound like a Taylor, just in a very different way. So by adding this separate collection and defining it as such, we're starting to help define what it is that you, the player, desire and need for their next guitar by looking at all these collections. Now, again, the Gold Label collection, you're going to have a whole bunch of things that are not available in other collections of Taylor guitars. So the body shape alone, it's called the Super Auditorium. It's a little bit longer, a little bit wider than our Grand Auditorium shape, but it's very familiar looking and very familiar feeling when you play the guitar. The bridge, that's a curve wing bridge that we imported from the Builder's Edition collection. That shape works very well on these guitars. The headstock shape is a little bit different. Again, it's a little bit more artistic, but still familiar, and it's still very Taylor in a lot of ways. And the construction is an offshoot of V-Class bracing. So it's Gold Label bracing that is native to this collection of guitars. So again, all that's going to bring out different tone out of these models. Plus, we're pairing these up with either spruce and Hunter and Rosewood or spruce and Koa. All torrefied spruce across both of the models, and then we have them in a burst and a natural version. But again, it's one more level of tone that's now available from Taylor guitars, and you could help segment exactly what it is that you're looking for by knowing what what collection you want to focus on, right? So if we look back on it in a quick review, Legacy is going to be more of the origins of Taylor guitars, more of that classic Taylor guitar sound. Then we move to our standard collection of guitars, which that runs the gamut. It runs all of our shapes. It has a bunch of different tone woods. This includes our Tecate models like GS Mini and Baby Taylors, all the way up to our presentation series and different appointments in each one of those series and different tone wood combinations. Then we move on to our Builder's Edition collection. Again, this is the director's cut of our guitars, affording you more player comforts that make the guitar playing experience that much greater for those that desire those appointments. And then, of course, as we just mentioned, the Gold Label collection, which is a whole different tonal sphere that Andy, when he built this, it was born out of what else is there. And that's when he came up with the Gold Label collection. So
how about a short clip of the Gold Label 814E Koa? I'll see you back in 45 seconds.
If you had to pick one of the Gold Labels, how would you spec? If you had to spec yours out, how would you spec yours out right now? Out of those model combinations, everybody.
I got it. Okay,
Like
814.
the Honda and Rosewood or Koa with the burst or natural.
I would do. Yep.
I'd do a Honduran burst.
I would do a Honduran burst.
And I would do a Koa burst probably.
Yeah, that Koa guitar.
They sound really good.
That Koa is just phenomenal. Some would say Koa can at times be a little bit more mahogany adjacent. And that Koa kind of, the way that the bracing works and the way that the long tenon neck kind of work together, it kind of leans a little bit closer to that dryness of mahogany that I like, but the Rosewood is fire.
That is one thing I didn't mention was the action control neck.
Oh yeah,
as one of the greatest features of the Gold Label, where it's kind of user serviceable to set your action however you'd like. So and having that long tenon, yes, I mean having the long tenon neck adds to the resonance of the instrument, giving it more of that warmth.
Yeah, it's just a brilliant guitar. You know what we didn't do? We didn't do choose your Builder's Edition. If you could pick one Builder's Edition guitar, what would it be?
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that.
Can I just go?
Yeah, go.
Builder's Edition A14 CE Blacktop. boom. That
Those are
guitar
cool.
is just remarkable. I love it. It looks good, sounds good. Well, that's hard too because we also have a sinker top, don't we? Oh,
We do.
man.
Sinker Honduran.
Yeah.
Oh, we
That-
have a
that
sinker
would-
That would be
Honduran.
my pick.
That Sinker Honduran was by my desk the other day, and I played it. It was one of the best guitars I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, okay. Can I scratch that and go back to
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch. Yeah, I would do the Sinker Honduran, but very close second is that blacktop. I think the blacktop is remarkable.
For me,
The
I would
blacktop
just-
is really cool. It's like
Yeah.
a tuxedo. It's awesome.
like a
just
tuxedo,
like,
yeah.
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 It's like James Bond. Like you're just like,
Yeah. Mike,
That's
what
rad.
would you choose?
I would one up that a little bit. I'd go the Builder's Edition 914 CE Sinker Honduran.
That's a good one.
Like those, because I mean, if I'm going to go Builder's Edition, I'm going to go with bling. Like I'm going to bling it out.
Yeah, that's a really good guitar. I think those don't have pickguards, do they?
No.
Right. I think I just like the 814 for the pickguard part. But yeah,
You can always add a pickguard if you really want it.
Ew.
You
That's
could.
something Jordan would do. You know what I mean? He would just like get a pickguard. He would get a pickguard for a Les Paul and like glue it to the top.
Yeah, it'd be yellow and it would say
It'd,
penguins
it'd
on
be
it.
like, woo.
And then it would look gross, and I would return it.
What would you take? What would you pick?
I would get
Jordan?
a Builder's Edition 614. That is my the Builder's Edition 614 CE is not just my choice of the Builder's Edition. It's the whole line, everything that we have. I've wanted that since I wanted a guitar.
it's a great guitar.
really
That's
good
my
guitar.
dream guitar.
I agree with Jordan. I would take a Builder's Edition 614 CE. I would take a picture of it, and then I would superimpose it on the graphic we had, so we actually would have the right guitar
Hey,
on the graphic.
hey,
Hey,
Come
you know,
on.
they got made. They got made. Real
I know.
quickly.
I'm just playing.
they got made,
I love
and
it.
yeah, MC, I love you. That was my bad for not calling it out. I should have seen it.
It's all good. It's all good.
I think the 524 is interesting too.
Well, I
Oh,
don't know what
yeah.
you're talking about. I don't know
What
what
is
you're
that?
talking about.
You mean the
I don't know what you're
324
talking
Builders?
about.
Do we have a 524?
I don't even think we have.
No,
a
we don't.
Oh,
We
that's
don't have
maybe I'm thinking of
524.
the standard line one, the old one,
324.
the 324. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that
you're
one
thinking
I
of you're thinking of mahogany because of the 5.
Yeah, I'm screwing up
used
my
to
model numbers for the 9 millionth
Yeah.
time today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've been packing all day and not thinking about guitars
Here we
nearly
go.
as much.
Here we go.
I,
Packing.
I think the gold label. I'm torn because I haven't played the Honduran mahogany and the Koa and the gold label. I think I would do natural on that one.
They're beautiful. The natural is beautiful. It's
I
really
like the
cool.
burst. They both look super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think I would do natural.
Yeah. It's really good.
I've been really into bursts the last few years, and now I'm like, I think I would pull a natural one.
All right, let's run this thing home real quick. Mike, let's introduce the Tone Shows one more time.
Yeah, so again, we're going to be hitting the road here in places. There you go. That's the first round of them here in the spring.
Take a
coming
screenshot of that.
Yep, take a screenshot of that because you won't see it again in about 10 seconds. And then this is just sort of the warm up. In the fall, I think we're going to have closer to like 25 of them. So anyway, we're going to be doing basically what we just talked with you here today, plus a lot more. So make sure you come and check it out, and you'll be able to see gold label guitars and new Builder's Edition guitars and legacy guitars and be able to try them all against one another and find exactly what works for you. But most importantly, it's there to help you decide what lane you want to be in when steering for your next Taylor guitar. So and we will have people playing guitar, and hopefully you'll come and play guitar yourself. So that's what we would like.
Very nice.
Free swag while available.
I love this
Nice.
over here in the feed real quick. Rob just hit me up. Rob's hit us up. See this? Tex is taking up your 2 minutes of sports. That's right, Tex.
Hey.
So good. Brewers 5, Royals nothing in the 9th. Okay.
That's the epitome of things I like. I could watch that game and not have any feelings about it at all.
Yeah, but it's baseball and it's still fun.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
just
what I mean?
fun. That's one where you just like
Always
flip a
fun.
coin and decide who to cheer for. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
Or not. Ooh, check this out. What's he say? 7-4.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop
Oh, over
Nope.
the
Oh.
Yankees. Can we talk about Aaron Judge real quick the other day? Like, Aaron Judge goes ham in Like what was it? 3 home runs and like in what the smoke? What the 3 or 4?
Can we talk
that
about the
game?
new
Three-
bats?
he-
What's up
he
with the
did
new
4 in
bats?
2 days.
Torpedo bats?
Yeah, what's up
Yeah,
with
what
that?
are with those new bats?
All right,
It's a brilliant
so
idea.
Would you like me to explain it really quick?
Yeah.
for
You can
everybody?
Yeah,
explain it. I can explain
So
it. Let's go.
here's the thing: you can get into the physics of it, but here's the deal: the torpedo bats are not brand new. They are
No,
not
people
made
used
for
them
the
last year.
Yankees. Exactly, and everybody's saying, "Well, the Yankees have them. They're cheating. They're cheating. They're cheating." First of all, MLB approved the bats. Second of all, Yankees aren't the only people using them. Third of all, it shifts the weight closer to the label, so you make better contact.
Yeah.
But it's the same weight. So you still got to swing the thing, and you still got to keep your eye on the ball.
And like the measurements of the bat, like the rules of the MLB, like the thickest part of the bat has to be a certain diameter. It still
exactly.
is.
It still is.
It's just
It
where
just
is the
tapers at
thickest
the
part of the
end.
bat?
Yeah,
Like,
just the thicker part of the bat is moved backwards a little bit, and it
Yeah.
tapers near the end a little bit. So
It's
you're going to see fewer
no-
end of the bat hits, probably because of that. But at the same time, you're going to see more shots up the middle.
I think that's fine, Mike, but it's just the Yankees are bad for baseball.
I agree.
No, I would
And
agree.
you are bad for prime.
I would argue. I would argue. I love that we just segued into 2 minutes of sports real quick, and then we're
So
gonna wrap
good.
this thing. I would argue that when the Yankees are good, baseball is good.
Yeah.
When the Dodgers are good, we have to question our lives.
Yeah.
And maybe think about other sports to watch because
I think so too. I think the
This is
Dodgers
a-
truly are bad for baseball.
this is a mess right now. I'm sorry. They've got like 9 starters and a really great players, and their coaches, their manager is fantastic, and all of the stuff that I just want to argue. I can't because I look at the ball club and then I see Magic Johnson and I'm like, Sparty, man, why Magic? Why? But you know what? They got all this money. and they
Half
put it
a
together.
$1 billion payroll.
Well put. Well put.
The
I think
Yankees still lost with a
I
torpedo
think
bat.
if the
But
Tigers
but the
are
thing-
if the Tigers are ever good, that's when we should just be scared. Apocalypse or something's gonna happen. if the Tigers
no
are ever
one
good.
cares about your comment right there. Actually, I'm excited for the Final Four. My Spartans just couldn't handle Auburn's size. I knew that was going to happen a little bit, but I was hoping it wouldn't. Broom is a fantastic player, and he took it to us, and I can't wait to see him in the NBA. Formula One is back, and I'm really excited about the Formula One being back. And
that's
that's
cool.
all the sports we have. As we wrap up the show, ladies and gentlemen, folks, nerds, I think we had a couple of questions up here that I would like to try and get to before we bounce. I saw a good one.
John has a good one for you, Mike.
Does the Spruce
Yes.
814 CE Builder's Edition still have the 4-piece Addy top? Yes, it does.
There you
And
go.
it
John.
probably will forever. There just isn't. Adirondack spruce is just not as plentiful as it once was, and we're prepared for that by making guitars with 4-piece tops. And you'd never know unless we told you.
All right.
And if you want to learn more about that and why, go and watch the videos I made at Pacific Rim Tonewoods where we learned all about it.
That's good. That's
They're
great.
part of
Maybe
Wood
I'll
and
link
Steel.
those in the comments afterwards. Okay, we got Phil's question here. What would you say is your best full sound spectrum model?
Oh.
Clear lows, pronounced mids, and clear high end.
And available left hand.
Yeah.
That's tough because woods do different things.
Yeah.
They do. They can give you the most of some things at the expense, I guess, for lack of a better term, of other things. So rosewood gives you more highs and lows, but it has a scooped mid, where mahogany gives you a ton of mid, and it'll give you some highs and some low mid, but the super low end, it's not going to be quite as thuddy. It's not going to have that full round bottom to it. So the better question would be, is there a wood that does that more than anything else that might be a little bit more evenly balanced? And for me personally, that's sassafras. Just how I've found it to be, where it's kind of even across the whole thing, but it's not a maximum of anything, if that makes sense. So yeah, it gives you a balance of all of them without amplifying any of them. I don't know if that's the best way
Also,
to put that.
sassafras is super fun to say.
Yeah.
It is, and if you don't like
What
the
ab-
guitar, you can grind it up and make it into a tea.
What about like the 618?
Well, the 618E was the closest thing, but we're no longer making the 618E as a production model. So that would be, I guess maybe if there was one, that we used to make, yes, that would be probably the closest one to that, because of, the fact that maple is inherently bright, but the way that we construct maple guitars adds more low end to it.
Yep.
And then
The
put that in a
618 is-
large body instrument.
Yep.
That's going to make up for whatever maple it might be lacking. So you have physics taking over for whatever the wood might be lacking. I'm putting that in quotes because I don't think maple's lacking anything per se. I love maple
Yeah.
as a tone wood. But yeah, that would be probably the closest. But we are no longer making that guitar.
All right,
It's
I got
tough to
another.
hit something to have something that hits the frequency spectrum the way he's talking about, like
Yeah.
really pronounced mid range, but a lot of low and high. Like,
It's interesting. I might actually pull a gold label into it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It's the low end is really, it's there. It's very present. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
out of
Koa,
the way.
like the Koa one.
The mid range is just in that sweet spot of mids, and the high end, which is interesting how we say this, but the high end is also warm. It's really interesting. It kind of just does a thing. That's
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
It's
Anyway,
got a little
check-
bit of like a rolled off ribbon mic smoothness
Yes,
to it.
yeah, that's right,
totally.
Gabe. That's we should have a mic episode coming up soon.
Ooh,
Let's
we
have
should.
Andrew back on. Or Ben. Oh, that'd be fun. Okay, look at this question. I'm wondering why the 522 CE was discontinued. I think the 322 CE is still for sale, if I'm not mistaken. What's happening with Honduran mahogany these days?
We're getting mahogany from different sources. Some is
Fijian
Honduran, some is
mahogany,
Fijian
yep.
mahogany. That's what we're using a lot of now is Fijian mahogany, which has many of the same tonal characteristics, if not almost all the same tonal characteristics. So, I mean, what's happening with Honduran mahogany? It's getting harder and harder to get. That's what's happening with it. Tigers are winning. That's terrible.
I know. You should get scared now.
Yeah. But really, I don't have any specifics as to, what truly is happening with Honduran mahogany. I just know that it's getting tougher to get. And we are using a lot of Fijian mahogany in other tropical mahoganies in order to fill the gap.
I'm going to try and say Fijian as often as possible.
Yeah, Fijian stuff too.
I liked this question for you also, Mike.
Would you guys say Koa is a woody sound as well? Considering that it lives in a mid-range when it's first born, if you will, you could say that, but I think I think there's a sheen on Koa that mahogany really exploits. Mahogany is more of that woody sound. If I compare Koa and mahogany being the mid-range, king of woods, if you will, there's definitive differences there. So again, I think Koa has a little bit more of a slick sheen on it, where mahogany is a little bit more rustic, for lack of a better term. They both sound woody. I just think mahogany sounds far more woody than Koa. If you said, pick a woody sounding guitar, I would go mahogany first.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's the first thing that comes to mind. I would
Yeah, it's-
most of the time describe Koa as having more top end than mahogany.
Sparkle.
oh yes, definitely.
and not as much like low mids on the low end, that growly sound.
Yeah.
Like it's
Here we go again.
very
trying to
present though.
explain sound.
It's
with
hard to do.
adjectives.
It's hard to talk about sound.
It really
it's
is.
so hard to do. But it's not hard. It's not hard to disagree with Carlos. I agree with this pretty much. You know what? I don't have a problem with the transfer portal, but it shouldn't be allowed to enter the transfer portal until all of the tournaments are done, and then there should be a cap of some sort. But we'll figure that out. They need to work on it. Okay,
I
sorry.
agree with that too, 100%, because you see, like,
Guitars
even in
and
like pro
sports.
sports, in pro sports, right? The football season ends.
Yeah.
Then there's a waiting period
Yeah.
Then there's a free agency, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's this tampering period that needs to happen in college sports. And like Jay, like you said, they're just figuring it out right now, especially with
Coaches,
all the
too.
NIL stuff. I mean, all that is still weighing heavy with a lot of people that, because now it's financial. And so there's even more reason for people to enter the portal in their minds. So
Yeah, that's great. But let's not talk about the portal. It makes us all depressed. Let's talk about something else. So I was doing some figures. I know a lot of you are aware of this project that Gabe and I worked on many years ago. It was in 2020 during the early part of the pandemic. We were working on a music project with our friend Keith Goodwin, formerly of the band Good Old War. He has some solo music out. He
Some
was
new
in
stuff.
in a band called Days Away. Keith is a very prolific songwriter, and we worked with him on a project, a song called "I Know What Love Is." And I was working on the royalties. So how that song worked is we created a song with 54 artists. Gabe and I did an episode a while ago. We talked about how many tracks of audio it took to do that. There was north of 200 tracks of audio, and we created a song during the middle of the pandemic, and it was a bear. It was a big project, and we did it. And our whole point was to try to raise money for Music Cares. If you're familiar with the Grammy
Charity organization.
charity organization called Music Cares. They help fund health and wellness for artists, mental health for artists, artists who live with addiction issues. They help in case of the fires in Los Angeles. There was a lot of money that was donated to help artists who lost everything, and the same thing was happening during the pandemic, where they were helping artists just kind of stay afloat, and they were helping fund artists who were musicians who were completely out of business, or touring crew, et cetera, et cetera. Music Cares is just a wonderful organization, and I was doing the math, and it looks like we've officially raised just over $30,000 for Music Cares since that song came out. It was really exciting. How to not raise a whole bunch of money for something is to make a song and put it on streaming, the DSPs, because 237 listens and equals $1, and that's not even true because there's a pro rata system, and some of the bigger artists are getting a chunk of that money. So it took a really long time to get there, but we had some really early, donations. People just donated money in the name of "I Know What Love Is" because of you to Music Cares. So all in all, I was looking at it, and I think I'm right there. We're right there to right around. It could be plus or minus a few $100, but I'd like to just round up at this point and say we made $30,000 donated to Music Cares, and it's very special for me and Gabe. So to celebrate and to send us off, we're gonna play about a minute of the song. You can find the song on all your streaming platforms, wherever you listen to music. You can see the music video that we did here on YouTube. At Network Records YouTube channel, and I'll grab the whole full length and I'll link it in the comments afterwards. But thank you guys, week in and week out. Whenever we get to do this show, every couple of weeks, it's exciting. We have some cool shows coming up. Before we play the song, Jordan, do you know what the next two shows are?
Yeah. So, just like we were doing for the last 10 minutes, our next show is on the 15th. That's a live Q&A, and we're going to have two of our longest mainstays here at Taylor Guitars, and Glenn Wolf and Terry Myers. So they'll be answering all of your questions, so come prepared. Try to stump them. They've been here for decades, so that'll be a good one. And then we'll have another one 2 weeks after that, talking more about the action control neck and just the history of our pursuit of playability.
I'm super excited about that. So thank you guys every time you join in and hang out with us. Thanks, Mom. I know you're watching. There you go. I just said it. We really appreciate you guys coming. We enjoy doing this show. It's fun to get together with all you nerds and hang out. So, without further ado, we're going to play this show out with a little I Know What Love Is. Thanks, everybody. Till
See you,
next
nerds.
time.
Bye, guys.
Don't ask me how it